Let's see if it works. Okay. Now it is. Silly YouTube. Alright, now it's showing live. Alright. Well, that's a thing. Even though it took the wrong stream title. Oh well. Oh well. Well, we figured it out. Okay, let's go look at those changes. Make sure we've got them right. We need to be looking at this one. Yeah, that's looking better. That's looking better. Okay, I think this gets to... add a new benchmarks for idle in the user interface. Okay, and then we can merge into master with a merge commit. Delete that and then start rebasing the rest of this stuff. Is there anything that's ready? No. Okay, let's start with consumables. Yeah, we'll give this a run. I don't know if, now that I'm live again, if the chat has stayed live. Probably ridiculously the case that no. Okay, that does look live. Oh, it's so janky, guys. Like the chat bar, it you can't even get to it until you. Okay, new chat bar. Yes, I think that's it. Okay, you can't even get to it until you make it widescreen. So if you've got it on the left monitor, God help you. Okay. Let's go eat some corn. That's still not really working the way that we want. Corn with butter? Yum. Yum. Sounds good. Count me in. Consumable corn sketch. Give that a run. I would 100% incorporate both chats with platform icons. It would make it easier. Yeah, well, just now, it going down like that was like really counterproductive. Okay. That does not fill at all as described. Come back, Corn. We now have the UI in the harness, but we do not see any fill. It still has the square over the letter that goes from 0 to 100% opacity. Do the progress bar. Progress bar fill instead. Hello, Harry. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome in. We're trying some new stuff today. I'm trying to do a little bit of editing on top of it all. Okay, I think this one is closed, so I'm actually going to exit that out. Exit here. Exit here. Which leaves us with this. Good, good, good. Some of these, any of these that are done can actually rebase. Okay, after reverting the recent strict chest ray paths, watch the primarily determine the the carried object's position. I think chest primary. The object stays in front of the character body 3D with only rotation influenced by upper chest. I think chest primary. Height should be probably hand anchors. Keep it far enough in front to avoid the body, but not globally ignore the character collisions. Don't think we want that. We want distance solve with a note that it needs to be close enough that the arms are slightly bent, not locked out straight. Okay, we're gonna have new questions fairly soon, but in the intermediary, let's get back to what we were doing here. Okay, use color page masks for blur and color effects and fusion masks for actual cutouts. Okay, fusion mask, please. Go to your clip on the timeline, go to the color page. I want a fusion mask. I want a fusion masks. Okay, how should the carried object rotate while held with two hands? I think it should be upper chest yaw. It should not only be the yaw, but also the position, so the object stays in front of the upper chest. Even when the character faces forward, when strafing left and right, the chest can face in that direction. And if the held object does not move that way, it will look awkward as the hands and body disconnect. Okay, how should the distance in front of the chest be chosen so the arms stay slightly bent? Preserve hand distance. Blend between the hand drive distance and attune close carry distance. Keep the current hand derived forward distance only clamping forward enough to avoid the body collision. Yep. Hey, Gablox. What are you working on? We're working on consumable objects, lifting containers, and monsters getting more powerful as time goes on. Those are the things we're working on right now, Harry. And also, we're trying to, at the same time, edit together a short form video. So lots of, multitasking as it tends to go sometimes these days. You've got to spread your efforts across multiple things to remain productive. How are you finding the voice to text approach? Is it partly for Twitch or is it genuinely useful? It's mostly for Twitch, Gablox. I think when I'm on my own, I find that I'm getting to use it a little bit, but it's mostly because I've become used to it doing on Twitch. I think in general, for me it's typing, and I can type it a little bit faster and actually engage my thought process a bit more, like my thought process while I type, a little more effectively than vocalizing it. But it depends. Sometimes you know exactly what you want and you can spit it out in like 2 or 3 sentences at once, and it accelerates the process. But in general, I think typing gets the better result. Okay, chest primary means primary for horizontal placement but not height. Hand should follow the hand grab anchors. The carry distance should come from the hand derived pose with only a minimum body clearance clamp. Yep, the derived visual is hands, torso, and held objects staying connected to remain slightly bent. Okay, we need to... Upper chest forward ray, okay. The target origin logic with the chest projected hand forward. I think yes, ship that, let's do it. Your Festival of Sacrifice called, oh yo, that's pretty cool, Harry. I didn't even know that. That's pretty cool. Should be celebrating that with some kind of promotional event for, like, our game's about sacrifice and all that other, like, this big ritual and stuff. I need to lean into that a little bit more. Okay. That one definitely needs a fix. Yeah, that's a problem. I'm really glad that we have that QA branch. There's a lot of tests that need to be introduced for host migration. Like even just a character teleporting when host migration occurs. That's kind of a huge deal. It's called Eid al-Adha. Okay, Festival of Sacrifice. I'm curious what happens in that? Is there more that what takes place? I see your test there, Goldie. I saw it a while back, but I'm just rereading it now and wanted to confirm that I did see it. Okay. This is a weird error. I don't know why it appears. Would be useful to know that. Okay, master closes, lift closes, monster menaces. Yeah, there's a lot of open branches. We probably should be just collapsing them. Connect it to the blue mask input. Okay, that's probably what's going wrong there. Start with media in, media out. I mean, probably needs to be in Fusion, right? Not in, okay, media in, media out. Change it to this, background alpha 0. Background alpha 0. Add tool. Okay, fusion mask. Fusion mask, DaVinci. Okay, where's our... Hello, what's this? EMB, we're doing a little bit of shift space is... Oh, okay. Alright, handy. Seems like we have some people who know their way around DaVinci. That's pretty good. Background alpha... I don't know if there's background alpha. You should see this. Go shift space, add background. Select background 1 and go to the inspector, set its alpha to 0. Alpha to 0. Shift space and merge. Okay, merge. Background 1 yellow goes into merge. Yep. Media in 1 to the green. Merge 1 output to out 1. Oh, these are actually very good instructions. These are good instructions. So, add a mask. Use ellipsis. I mean, on merge. Yay, that's something. That's something. We'll need to change that polygon, but it's a start. Okay, surely now there's a way to turn this ellipsis into a polygon. Nope, that's a... polygon, there we go. I'm getting there. I'm coding my own Roblox game. Yo, that's sick, EMB. That's awesome, man. So how are you liking Lua? That's pretty cool scripting language, I think. That goes there. Hell yeah. And you can cut out on the color page too. It's so not necessarily fusion. It depends on what you want to cut out. Yeah. I'm wondering about like, yeah, I mean, we can soft edge here, which would be plenty for what we're trying to do. I'm trying to just like do this so that now the bottom media can where is it? I want to do the transform on this. This one. You know, Chained Together, I want to make a second game in Roblox. Yo, that's awesome. That's awesome. Cool, man. You're back but deleted your message? Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean, God of War? I mean, that's kind of annoying that the way we've put this together is going to be an issue. All right. We're gonna need something for the top bit there. Maybe a duplicate of the bottom but blurred. Duplicate at the bottom but blurred. I mean, that doesn't actually look terrible. It doesn't actually look terrible. We might need. I need a little bit a little something for this top section for the black, but okay. It commemorates the devotion of, okay. Okay, the Prophet Ibrahim to Allah and his special occasion that symbolizes faith, generosity, and obedience. They're going to celebrate it tomorrow on May 27th by performing, spending time with family and loved ones. Nice, man. Nice. I think a lot of people, when they think sacrifice, they think of something very different, right? To me, it's like the Inca sacrifices and stuff like that's what comes to mind, or so it's like, I think there's always so many like cultural and language barriers that change the way a person like perceives it's an interesting thing, man. The way that culture shifts and changes perception. Because sacrifice is truly more, there's more to it than that. Okay, we're gonna have to scale this guy down. Now the question becomes, what do I do? What do I do with the top bit here? Twitch made it gold. Hold on. I don't know, but I typed Goldie and Twitch made it Goldie. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, very, very cool, dude. I hope you have a really good day. It sounds like a time for family and for getting together with loved ones, and that's amazing. That's really good. Okay. I really have to position myself more centrally, but it's a start. What do I do with this top section? I probably need some other footage there and then to just blur it. The thing is, I'm gonna have to do this to every video. Is there some easy way to copy what's happened there? This is not going well. All right, hold on. We can... We need... There was some more footage in here. Let me just check on everything and make sure it's still running well. Okay, we need to check on this. We need to find more stuff there. This one's kicking on. This is consumables. So let's give that a run real quick. Are you doing the color grading? At the moment, I'm just doing masking, Harry. I was just doing the masking of the... so no, not doing color grading, just trying to do get a video together. Okay, that goes. Okay, yep. So how do you actually get the handle up? There it is. Man, it's hard to edit. It's a shame about that room code. And now do I do it this again? Surely there's a way to copy the media, like the configuration from before. I wouldn't have to redo all of that, right? I'll put the purple start screen background there. Yeah. Not a bad idea. Purple start screen background. I like it, Draggy Han. Especially if we can crop the top of this one. We might have to. I mean, how do I choose the media that I'm actually working on here? It's great that I happen to be using the right one the first time I tried that, but surely that's not... I need a way to select the different media. You seen... Okay, hold on. Have you seen item vertical? It's an OBS thing to record horizontal and vertical for content at the same time. Yeah, I see people that stream to TikTok and stuff use that. I haven't dabbled yet myself, so I still got to try that out. But okay, so hold on. So this should be consumption. Let's give that a run. Consumable corn. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yep, that's working good. I like that. Consumables. Add heads-up display for consumable action. Okay, fascinating. You mean the scroll bar there? The use image gen to replace the icon that we've used that represents the consume action to be a mouth that matches the look and feel of the other icons that fill that spot, such as drop, pick up, drop, and the icon should be a mouth. Should feature a mouth. Okay. Simplified carry targeting. Let's give that a shot. The drag rework. Have you considered getting Claude Code to do your video editing? I have looked into that, Gablox. If you can tell me one that works. Okay, so there's a MCP server for DaVinci Resolve, but it requires you have DaVinci Resolve Pro. There's a Premiere Pro one as well, so that you can use MCP server for Premiere. And there's one that's become quite popular recently called here, it's this one. It's called Remotion. And I've tried Remotion with mixed results. Actually, you know what? Like not satisfactory results. They're not good enough yet. But we could try that. We could try that. We could give it a shot. I mean, we can do it right now if you want to see the outcome of that. Okay, so only use Adobe Premiere to edit stuff. God of War, how did you find the MCP server? Was that decent? Okay, so the things we need here are going to be the things it's not going to do well is like masking the hexagon and that kind of thing. Okay, so I mean, these shots are kind of different from what it asked for anyway. Okay, so we're gonna go with cool, not decorative. I think this is intro 2. Intro 1. Just take crate. Farm demo. I don't know. I can send a link of an edit I made during that course in chat if you want. Yeah, go for it, God of War. Especially if it's like, is this as something that you're doing with using agents to do the edits? I don't think we're talking at the same level. I just did a basic course. Okay. By the way, I have a question. If you do some 3D artists still reject, hold on. Why do some 3D artists still reject AI tools while others use them to improve their workflow? Do you think creators should adapt to AI or avoid it? I mean, Harry, I think a lot of people reject it because they've spent their lives mastering it, and it seems as though a tool has come around and made a lot of the value that they had irrelevant. People push back against that kind of thing, and I can understand why. I think if you want to remain relevant, you have to embrace the tools rather than rejecting them, because whether you like it or not, they exist, and whether you like it or not, the industry values outcomes more than effort. And so if you can find a way to reduce effort and improve outcomes, it's just going to be the way that it's going to be the way the market moves. And so the people that reject it, though it's very, very understandable why they would dislike these kind of technologies and what's happening, I think the longer they take to embrace them and move with the times, the quicker they'll be left behind. That's the unfortunate truth. And I think there'll still be a space for people who do that kind of work, because it'll be bespoke. It'll be like, it'll be artisanal, if that makes any sense. It's, there'll be a place for it. But I think in terms of, for me wanting to make a game, I just spent the last 3 years trying to make something, and it took way too long and cost way too much money, and I relied on too many moving parts and too many people to make real. I think for me, I can't afford to take that artisanal approach when it comes to something like the design of a game, and that requires a lot of art. So I'm leaning on both, and I could do all this stuff the old way, the long way. The way that like makes it optimizes for artistic output, but I don't think that that's what people even really want with their 3D art these days, especially when you put it in the context of a larger project and product. So yeah, for example, one artist might use AI tools to improve up their speed and up their workflow, while another refuses to use AI at all. Even every industry, not only 3D artists. Yeah, absolutely, Harry. Some people can't, their livelihoods and the things that they worked for a very long time to become good at. It's happened to me too. I've spent more hours coding and writing like literally writing code than I have anything in my entire life. And very quickly, the most effective way to build a game is no longer doing the thing that I literally mastered. While, my friends were out, partying and drinking and, while they were going to bed on time and while they were playing computer games, I was writing code because I wanted to be a master. I wanted to be the very best. And I know that to be the very best, you have to put in the reps, you have to put in the time. And very quickly, those skills have been made irrelevant. And this is affecting me as much as any other artist, right? because the way to build things has changed. It's changed very quickly because there is a better way to do it now. Not that it's better in terms of it's just there's a faster way to do it. And that's the way that the industry has to move, and that's the way that I have to move too, right? I'm trying to get in front of it rather than being left behind, and I think people really need to do that if they want to. It depends what they value. Depends on what they value. So those people who refuse to use the tools at all, they value some very different things, Harry, and I can understand them, and I have nothing against them. I in many ways, I would love to be one of the guys that just goes, I'm not using any AI in this, but if I want to get something to market, that's not going to be the best way to do it. And that's going to be true for everyone in every profession too, I think. So it's it's a funny one. It's a funny one, Harry. Okay, the lifted object target now projects into... All right, we're going to try the dragging rework, and we've been going to try that a few times. Let's actually do it. I agree with your points. Those are absolutely worth it. Yeah. AI is good at producing assets. The curation of assets is what makes hits. Yeah, that's always been the case, and that's not going to get replaced very quickly. It'll take a very long time before the the ability to make good decisions about art is replaced. Honestly, it'll take a really long time before that happens. And those decisions are ultimately the things that make a game great. It's not like how well you push the pixels around or how good the lines of code were. What matters most in terms of commercial outcomes for games is how is the decisions you made along the way, and those there's still very much like people who are able to do that, who are able to do creative direction, are going to be able to take more control into their own hands and still get the same creative outcomes as they would have been able to do before. This is feeling okay. I don't mind the way that these crates are feeling now. Artists embracing AI are now all technical artists. Given a few years, we're all gonna be we're seeing really cool stuff. I mean, this game, essentially what I'm doing on this is tech art, I think the power that this can unlock for the right people who view it the right way and embrace it in the right way is huge. And I think that's also what a lot of people hate about it, right? That the things that they were good at are no longer of the same value as they were before the tools came around and reduced their relevance. It's it's a funny one. I think I'm satisfied with this now, guys. I think I'm satisfied with this feature. I think I'm gonna start looking to merge this branch. What I do need to do is test multiple people on that. No, I mean, it can't yet, Harry. It can't yet. It'll take a while before it can, but I think eventually it will happen. What's your thought about the edit I posted? If it's all right, God of War, I'll probably check that edit out after stream so that I've only got another 15 minutes. I'm going to probably try and stay and lock in and close these branches out because we've been trying to do that for a number of streams now. And I feel like I'm close. I feel like I'm very close. I just need to get it across the line. So I need to commit that because this is feeling good. Consumables, dragging rework. Okay. Probably the long way from what retopologizing being the main reason. Yeah. Which honestly I feel is programmatically achievable. It's like, those tools are going to start to exist pretty soon too, GPOS, but also like the relevance of retopology is, Like they do exist already. I think you need to check out Hunyan. It has a really good retopology tool. The geometry for some of these models, honestly, is not like, and this is just a random one that happens to be open in a scene. All right, this one is actually one of the worst, but it's also not the worst. It's like, it's higher than most models I have in this solution, but it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. The edge loops are okay. It's it can do decent topology. It can already do decent topology. Yeah, if you can send it in a DM, God of War, that'd be really good. That'd be awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. There's obviously some obstacle people are struggling to overcome. Yeah, for sure. But we'll get there. You can see how quick it's moving. They're not unsolvable problems. Like, none of them are unsolvable problems. Okay. Okay, let's see. Consumables. Let's give that a run. $149. It's coming up. This new icon is good, but we're going to change the behavior slightly. We are going to create a, what do you call it? A super, there's like when you, there's the super, okay, what's it called? What's it called when a symbol is like a super? What's it called when a symbol is positioned up and to the right and up or down and to the right of a different symbol? An example of this is when something's raised to the power of something else. Superscript, subscript. Okay, this icon is good, but we're going to change the behavior slightly. I want to still show the drop hand while the object is held, because if tapping Q and E occurs, the object will be dropped. I also want to indicate to the player that there's a second option available if the button is held, and that should be added as a subscript, positioned down and to the right and inward. On the Q, it should be down to the right. On the E, it should be down and to the left. Make the mouth, when it's not being held, smaller. When it is being held, just make it one icon. The one main icon, and make it the mouth. Okay. Hold on, so we had some messages here. Alright, sorry, so many messages. I'm being really bad at this. Being really bad at keeping up. Sorry, guys. There's obviously some obstacle people are struggling to overcome. Right. Connecting Claude with Blender is great for scene organization and simple tasks, but not for expert level in modeling and animation. Yeah, for sure. I haven't even tried the Blender MCP yet. Okay, Godot. Hold on, it sounds like you've set your sights on doing a 3 a.m. stream anymore. Yeah, I'm trying not to. I'm trying to get better sleep patterns, God of War. You're either Dutch or Australian. You can't be both. That is true. If I had to pick one, I'd say I'm Australian because I've lived here my whole life. But both of my parents were Dutch. En ik spreek ook Nederlands. Ik ben niet een Nederlander, maar ik versta taal. Ik heb een klein beetje geleefd. Mijn nichtjes en neefjes en mijn oma en opa zijn allemaal in Nederland. So, ik ben misschien een beetje Nederlands, maar meestal Australisch. By the way, thank you for dropping by the stream, Nelson Mandela fan. Funny name, man. Funny name. Honestly, I'm unsure of the rate of progress. It seems huge at the moment, but that's due to the enormous amount of data AI has been able to digest in comparison. Yeah, but you know that synthetic ingestion can also produce new results too, right? It's like, getting progress on synthetic stuff is also possible, GPOs. However, most of the data has already been consumed. I don't think it's going to slow down personally. I think we'll still see tremendous improvements, GPOs, especially as the improvements lead to further improvements. There'll potentially be a compounding effect where the introduction of new AI technology improves the rate at which new AI technology gets created. So like you have to factor that in, GPOs. You can't ignore that and be like, oh, we'll run out of data. It's the methods and stuff that will improve, and in some sense, the synthetic data can still produce better training results. So where does the progress from here other than refining rules and algorithms to produce better results from data sets? Yeah, I think, you can still test against reality, and more will improve to the point where those kind of systems can like create their own benchmarks and targets. I think they're essentially just referencing a data set for the best answer, they think. Yeah, that's a bit more to it, but like I see your point. Like the mark of E in Pokemon. Hold on. What do you mean, Jubman? What do you mean? Sorry about the ads, everyone. Nelson Mandela fan. They are a fan of each other. They are literally separated by seas and a continent. Also, one is Scary Spiderland of Hell, and the other is the Land of Tulips. That is true. That is true. The man speaks the truth. Coding looks easy. You just talk to the program. I invite you to give it a go, Nelson Mandela. It's a little bit like, poetry isn't easy. You can't just say the words. You gotta writing it is. But like, try it. Please try it, because it's amazing what you can actually achieve. I think there's a whole skill to saying the right stuff at the right time too, Nelson Mandela. Okay, dial up the graphics on level 3 is now real. Yeah, you know the ad. I know the ad. Gavlogs. That's hilarious. Yo, thank you for the follow, Nelson Mandela. I appreciate it. Kan je ook Afrikaans verstaan, Mr. Nederlands? Een klein beetje Afrikaans. Ja, ik spreek een beetje Afrikaans. Afrikaans, so for those who don't know, the Dutch went to Africa and colonized it there, and they settled. And then generation after generation, the Dutch language kind of merged with a lot of the local vernacular, and you get this language called Afrikaans, which is actually the Dutch way of saying African. And so now it's its whole new language but there's a lot of Dutch in it, so you can kind of understand it. Which is very, very interesting. Okay, there's lots of room for efficiency. We can already run models that wouldn't have needed a data center on a 5090. Yeah, like massive improvements. Gablox is right. Je weet en kan jou beetje verstaan wanneer je praat. Yeah. Okay, so So you're South African, and that's very cool, Nelson Mandela fan. I should have guessed from your name, honestly. I should have guessed from your name. That's my point. Improving rules and algorithms and resources will appear to improve the model, but won't produce drastic progress. As we've seen, the rate will slow down. From my perspective, Dubios, I don't think we've seen it slow down at all. It seems to me like it's accelerating, dude. And if you think any different, you haven't been paying close enough attention to like the recent jumps, dude. It's kind of crazy. Afrikaans feels like squashed melon Dutch. I don't know about that. There's a misconception that AI itself is learning. I would say if you don't think that AI is learning, I would be very curious to know what your definition of learning is. AI is pretending it is peaked within like how short it's been. You know, it can read gene sequences now as open source. Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty cool. This stuff is moving. It's moving incredibly fast. It's moving incredibly fast, guys. Okay. Okay, so that's working quite well. Let's kill that and let's get back to the edit. Oh, yeah, we did a thing where we renamed all of these. I'm a bit annoyed about that. If I was writing this program, I would have an automatic relink from the hash of the file, because you can very quickly produce a globally unique ID for a file by hashing it. And then in instances where this is a problem, you could just look inside of the folder whenever an error occurs and then find the new hash. I mean, maybe it's done that though, because some of it is like, media offline. So surely you can like reconnect it, right? Let me reconnect the media. Okay, we can go to videos, drafts. It can't recognize the changed name. Do we really have to start over because we renamed files? There's got to be a way to reconnect it. Link clips, come on. Clip operations, replace selected clip. Okay. This one's gonna be the long one. No. Find in media pool. All right, that's going to be clip operations replace. Replace selected clip in here. Pretty sure that's it. Yep, good. Clip operations replace. This is the one where we lift it over, right? Find in media pool. This is dragging both of them. Clip operations. Replace. I think that's the wrong one. All right, one more time. Replace. No, that's terrible. Ugh. All right, it's 2 a.m. We are probably gonna raid out now. Let's see how we did. I mean, we just had one thing ding. So we're gonna quickly review that. And then we're raiding out. So consumable, let's see the new UI for this. Step outside of game dem and common categories and you'll see how poor the results are in comparison. This is due to data being more commonly accessible, for example, in the main resource that have been Stack Overflow on GitHub. AI itself isn't learning in the... No, I take your point, GPOS, but the one thing that you need AI to do in order to get better across other domains is this. It needs to get better at making AI. If AI gets better at making AI, what you're going to see is the rate of development for that AI is going to start to spill out into other disciplines. And I would say that I think like a great example of this is how far robotics has come. Robotics is like really, really quickly growing. You know, that's a perfect example of where, other things are getting really quick. Tolga is on. Yeah, Tolga will get a raid. Tolga will get a raid. We can do that. Let's see who else we got. All right, Tolga it is. I don't know if he just went live, guys, but he's a great guy. One of the main resources has been Stack Overflow and GitHub. AI isn't itself learning in the retrospect. It understands the language in its entirety. It just reconstructs snippets of code from the best possible solution of a desired logic and function. GPLs, I think you're underestimating how its capacity for innovation. I think it's more capable of innovation than you're aware of. It's not just reconstructing patterns. It is genuinely creating things that have never existed. It's don't fix what ain't broken. ALI is the billions that is invested into the system. It's just waiting for a smaller group to solve the problem and buy out. Okay, can't expect the top guys to risk their budget to reinvent something that's winning. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's an interesting case. I think GPLs, I can understand where you're coming from in a lot of situations, but I don't think it's going to slow down personally. Okay, here we go. We're raiding out to Tolga. It's been a good stream, guys. I'm gonna lock in, and we're gonna make some progress in some other areas as well now. I think if I wrap these things up, one more stream, it's really taken 2 streams to close out all the things that I thought would be closed out in one, which is wild. Katie, test 1, 2, 3. I see you there in YouTube. Good to see you there. Welcome in. I'm sorry that I didn't see it earlier. But catch you around, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow again. Tomorrow we're gonna be at this once again. And should be really good to close these features out, and then we'll look at media stuff next and starting to do more marketing and advertising type things. But hold on, why are you fast dinging, Goldie? What's going on? What have I missed? Let's see you. Hold on. See you next time, God of War. Goodbye, guys. Have a good day, Harry. get that video up. I will, Jobman. I will. I'll try and lock in, and we'll try and be more productive next time. It's but yeah, good times, great times, awesome times, fun stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a really good night, everyone, and I'll get some sleep, and I'll be back at it trying to get on like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock tomorrow. So it should be great. And we'll wrap these things up, and we'll get on to maybe building a Steam page. Oh my god, exciting, very exciting. Okay, see you guys. Have a good night.